That's why in the South they don't say good morning, they say morning. Because it might not, if you have cousins like Ortiz over here, it can't be a fucking good morning. And for those of you, you know, somebody asked me, by the way, I was startled this morning in the gym. Krishna, your girlfriend, I mean, I'm walking through and somebody said, good morning, Mr. Peña. I snapped. She was over, I don't know what she was doing something in the gym. Working out, I guess. Now, a couple of you know this, and I'm being sarcastic and I'm being cheeky. Sally and I have lived all over the world. We used to live in Monte Carlo. This is how they dress. Not like the pigs that you know. And this is smart. This isn't even dressed up. And I know you think everything has to do with jeans. Well, I know a lot of billionaires, and to the best of my knowledge, I never saw one wearing a fucking pair of jeans. Not one. Not one. And I know you think that somehow designer jeans, I don't know what that means. I have some. In fact, I only got jeans in the last 4 or 5 years, and my kids think it's a riot when they see me in them. You know. Designer jeans, I guess it's because when they cost $700-800, I guess that's them. You know, that's the definition of designer jeans. You probably don't pay $700-800 for jeans, but anyway, I hear at Costco you can get jeans for $80, or 80 euros, or 40 euros, and somehow, for some reason, women's jeans cost more than men's. Does anybody know why? Because women are stupid, and they'll pay more. That's why. There's less material, unless you got, you know, some big fucking hog of a woman, but you know, and more to love, I guess. But I don't understand why women's jeans. Anybody on YouTube, you little fucking wimps, email me and tell me why women's jeans cost more when there's less material, unless you got a big hog. More to love, yeah. So far, the case has gone well. So I'm expecting a fuck up in the next day or two, because it's gone, as they say, it's gone to plan. And I haven't had to pivot yet. So I would be highly surprised if this goes all 9, 10, 11 days to plan. So not that I have any backup plans. But so far, so good. And it's obvious to the people that have a little bit of sophistication vis-a-vis have done deals in the past, and those that haven't, and that's why the teams are so are important, because at least somebody in the team and the way I structured them does have experience. Any questions on what we've done so far? Not the individual cases, because we're going to talk about that, but I mean the concept, anything in general, any questions for me that I can answer for the Mongoloids on YouTube. I love you, YouTube. I love you. But in my case, yeah, I love you, but I don't want to have sex with you. You know, and I could live just on lust. You know, and I'm 70, so I mean, but I love you, YouTube. Any generic questions? How the format's going? Or you any? I'm not asking for. I'm not interested in your recommendations. Just don't misunderstand me. I'm just asking if you have any comments. Any Chinese got any Chinese shit to say? Ting Wing Jing? Nothing?
Can you give me an example of a project financing?
Please say it again slowly.
Project yesterday you said cash flow financing, project financing, and asset financing.
Asset financing. Okay.
What is project?
Okay. You weren't listening in the seminar last 2 months ago. Okay. Asset financing is you got a manufacturing company, you got machinery, you got lathes, you got drills, you got trucks, you got stuff like that, and you're the bank or the financial institution or the lender will secure those against your whatever you want to borrow, and it's asset lending. In the old days, the financial world used to go between asset lending and cash flow lending, asset lending and cash flow lending. I used to think that they did that because it was easier, in my judgment, to do cash flow lending because you didn't have to go out and look at factories and shit. Okay, but then when the cash flow lending went to pot, went downhill and wasn't as reputable or reliable vis-a-vis repayment. Then they went back to asset lending. Then they would asset and cash flow, and now they're at a situation where they have asset, cash flow, the cash flow from the operation. That means money that is beyond the expenses, simplistically. And they want a tertiary guarantee. They want somebody else to guarantee, or they want another business to guarantee. Or if you have more assets or more businesses, they want you to cross-collateralize. They want you to secure the loan with other assets that you have someplace else. And then they normally on top, for startups, or for early stage businesses, they want you to personally guarantee it on top of it. And remember I said a guarantor is a fool with a pen. But in the early days, I did guarantee stuff. Yes, go ahead.
Is brand intangible asset?
Intangible? You mean if they're not hard assets? No. But there's intellectual property. There's other assets. They don't have to be, steel, bricks, mortar. There's other things that are considered assets, and I'm not an intellectual property expert. There's also rights. You own movie rights. You own libraries, like the Beatles sold their releasing their song on something or other that they've kept. That library is quite expensive. I thought that the Beatles sold their library to Michael Jackson, but either maybe Michael Jackson's putting it on or selling it now. And so I know Elvis Presley is a brand, and his library makes infinitely more money since he's dead than he ever made when he was at the peak of his career. And that's quite often the case. So there's different. For example, the Gucci brand. If I owned the Gucci brand, I could borrow against the Gucci brand if I really legitimately could prove that I owned it. I could borrow against the Gucci brand. A lot of money. And there's maybe 20 or 50 brands like that in the world that you could borrow against. Did I answer your question?
Actually, I want to ask what is project financing?
Oh, project financing. Okay, we got. Okay, Robert has his solar thing. The first time that he financed it, the very first one, he went to the financial institution, and this is my project. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to buy the land. I'm going to put these things on there, the panels, etc. And that's a project. Project financing may have asset lending against it. It may have the projected cash flow, future cash flow. And so, but it's one individual project. Like when I financed this pavilion, much to my chagrin, it was considered a project by the Bank of Scotland. I believe they're the ones that finance it. And I couldn't borrow a pound to finance this building. This is a £1 million thing. Not one fucking pound.
Why is that?
Other than the council hates me, and the bank and the neighbors here aren't too fond of me, because they say, why? Why? What are you going to do with it? Nobody's going to come, And they weren't interested in it. We'll build it and they will come. They're not interested in that story. That's only in the movies. And so but when we did it is because when Sally came up with the idea 10 or 12 or 14 years ago, we're not here anymore. Let's sweat the asset. Sweat the asset means, we're not using the 150 acres for anything. So let's do some boutique weddings. That was the idea. And then I didn't like the pigs in the castle. So, and even you guys, spilling martinis and pissing on yourself in the... Yes, Rick. Yeah, I heard all about it, Rick. Thank you. It's all right. It's all right. Yeah. Can't you watch over him, Michael? Jesus Christ.
Where do you keep this broomstick?
Yeah. The broomstick's right back here. Anyway, and so so we built the pavilion to have bigger weddings. It had nothing to do with seminars. Didn't even dawn on me to use this for seminars, because this used to be a storage room. And then we knocked the wall out the last couple of years, because that wall used to be right where that beam is. And then we extended it so we get some more people in here. And then some of you came up with the ideas of the Hall of Fame and the influencers, and so you could kind of live and breathe it, smell the leather kind of thing. So that's what project financing is. Okay, and like for example, if you could buy a brand, I mean but the Chinese like Western brands. They like to spend money on Western brands, Dior. I'm guessing. I don't know this for a fact, and Gucci and stuff like that. Any other questions? Okay. To the best of my knowledge, we finished the cases for yesterday afternoon. I find it amusing to me that the second case I was anticipating would go quicker than the first because now you're experts. And now you ostensibly know what you're talking about. And with my cousin, I mean, even a blind hog can get an acorn. You know, they turned that deal around, which was impossible, based on the numbers and the shit that he gave, because his specialty is giving 40% of the 100% information. I'm going to say that again. His specialty is to give 40, less than half, or another way of looking at it, less than half of the truth. Of course, he's a Mexican and they lie. Okay, and my mother was born in Mexico, so I'm not, you know, but I mean, so he doesn't know the facts. And when I say wing it, he invented. The Mexicans invented winging it. And by the seat of your pants, yeah, it was invented in Mexico City, I think, or Guadalajara, I'm not sure which. Okay, so the second cases are done. So let's see. Last time we started with E first, right? Okay, let's start with A first this time. Michael? And we're going to show just a couple minutes of it. And we're not going to show them your secret sauce or anything, but just a couple minutes so you get up. And just walk through what the project is, and then we're going to cut YouTube off.
Our project is just
Yeah, I know what it is. That's fine. We're not going to give them too much information. What? Oh, excuse me. Yeah, that's right. Thank you for reminding me. Okay. Just tell them what it is briefly. You know, if you can. 40% information. Yeah. Well, he's only got 40%, so.
Okay, so the project is based on. All right, so again, this is the A team: Michael, Bert, Anthony, and myself. So in this case,
Hey, turn it straight so everybody can see it. Turn like this.
okay.
Yeah. Okay, wait a minute. And you stand on this side now so I can sit there.
Right.
Thank you.
So so my company is called. Basically, the idea is that we are gonna choose a platform in the blockchain industry or blockchain technology, and the idea is how to make it be adopted by the people. Kind of an overview of what the points of the goals of my company is to have an adopted mobile platform. In this case, we already have some partnership of a platform which is not in the blockchain industry, but it's a mobile platform and it's in Denmark. And it's already being used by people over there. As I said, the second point is to obtain a blockchain technology in order to be applied to this mobile platform, and then get the integration of both. So, in order.
What's the blockchain?
Okay, so yeah.
Explain what blockchain the technology is.
So
Simply.
Everybody heard about Bitcoin, I guess. So Bitcoin is an application of what blockchain technology is. So basically, blockchain is the system behind it. But Bitcoin, as I said, is just an application. That means that so many other applications can be built from the blockchain technology. It could be applied to financial services, like Bitcoin is. It could be applied to healthcare. It could be applied to data. It could be applied to music, whatever. So the technology is really broad in their applications. So that's the goals of my company.
What is the technology? So think of it like this. Think of a Bitcoin is like email, but blockchain technology is the internet that holds the email. So Bitcoin is the single application that that sits on top of the blockchain technology.
For now, yeah.